Hey guys, I'm back and I'm going to be giving you a quick market update for the greater Seattle area for February of 2023. So if you're looking for the most up-to-date information regarding what is going on here in the real estate market here locally, stick around because we're going to get after it right now. Hey there, I'm Jordan Reeder, your Seattle area real estate agent, and every week I drop content about everything that you need to know about moving to or living in the greater Seattle area. Are things finally starting to look up as we head into spring? Let's jump into the data and find out right now. All right, so the first thing we're gonna look at is percentage of list price, and that's when somebody lists a home for sale on the MLS. This data is gonna show what percentage of that list price they're actually getting. And as a reminder, in a normal healthy market, you should be looking at somewhere in that mid to high 90% range. Closest to 100 is the best. So check this out. In King County for February of 2023, for single family homes, we're sitting at 99.3% as a percentage of list price. So for reference, 1 year ago today, we were sitting at 111.6%. So that number is down about 11% from the same time last year. But the good news is you see this red line, which is the trend line, that's actually showing that over the past 2 months, this has been trending upward, whereas if you look all of last year in 2022, it was trending downward. So we're almost kind of crossed that barrier here, and we're starting to trend upward as we move into spring. Now for condos, that percentage of list price in February 2023 was at 99% here, which is down from 105% the same time last year in 2022. So again, this is trending upward, which is really good to see, but it's about a 6% difference from the same time last year. So it's nice to see a little bump here, right? We definitely didn't want to see this number go down. As I said in my last market report for January, that I want to see these numbers start to level off or go up as we near spring. And it looks like that's happening, which is really good news. Now keep in mind that's only based on 2 short months of data, but any upward trend is better than downward trend here. Now this is important to note that the percentage of list price stat doesn't show any concessions given by the seller to the buyer. So technically sellers are netting even less. That's something we just can't really quantify because the information is not made available to us. So if you're a seller, just keep that in mind on what to expect when you go to list your property. All right, the next number we look at is months of inventory, and that means that if no other inventory hit the market today, how long would it take for all of the inventory on the MLS to be sold off? For King County in February of 2023, we're sitting at 0.9 months of inventory, and for reference, the same time last year, we were at 0.3 months of inventory. Now basically this means that back a year ago, if no other inventory came on the market, it would have taken 10 days for all the inventory in King County to be sold. So it's pretty crazy to see how low that figure actually is. All right, and for condos, in February of 2023, we're sitting at the same 1.2 months of inventory as we'll see here, and the same time last year, we were sitting at 0.5 months. Now it's great to see this number is trending downward, but remember, 1 month or less of inventory is already extremely low. So we have to weigh the good with the bad here, depending on whether you're a buyer or a seller in Seattle. The lower this number goes, the greater for sellers, but bad for buyers, as less houses equals more competition. Now let's go over the days on market before sale, and that is when a home hits the MLS. How long does it actually take to go under contract? So 30 days is a good number to use when things are balanced. For King County, the days on market before sale in February for single family homes was 42 days, and that is up from 11 days the same time last year. So what does that mean? That means that if you list your house now, it's going to take 30 days longer to sell than it would have the same time last year. So keep that in mind if you're a seller. Now for condos in King County, the days on market before sale in February was 43 days, which is up from 20 days the same time last year in February of 2022. So again, you'll notice a pretty big gap here. If you were to put your condo on the market today, it's gonna take about 20 days longer to sell than it would have the same time last year. Just keep that in mind if you're a seller of a condo as well. So the time it takes to sell is trending downward. Now we are entering springtime, so this is to be expected a little bit, but overall good news that this number has gone down a few points. I'd like to see this number fall to about 30 days. However, that might take some time to happen with everything going on in the economy right now. All right, so now the big question is, what are home prices doing here in King County? The median sales price for single family homes in King County for February of 2023 was sitting at $800,000. Now that is down from $865,000 in February of 2022. But keep in mind, check this out, in March of 2022, 2022, that was the absolute peak when it comes to housing prices ever around here. So comparing figures year over year may look really bad, but it's better to keep an eye on what's been going on over the last quarter instead. The trend line is actually headed up. So it did, there was a tick up from last month from 790,000 up to 800,000. So things are headed in the right direction, but when you're comparing it to the same time last year, sometimes it can look a little more bleak than it actually is. All right, and for condos, the median sales price for February 2023 was $475,000, which is up from $450,000 last month. And you'll notice that it is down from $532,000 from the same time last year in February. So again, this trend line is headed up. We're in the right direction, but it's difficult to compare from the same time last year sometimes because it looks like we've lost a significant amount. And we have lost some, however, let's just focus on this trend line moving forward. So many people may be looking at this and wondering if things are finally starting to look up. Well, it's pretty early to tell. Yes, these figures are trending upward if you look over the last few months, which is good to see, but there's not enough time in between the highs and the lows to be able to definitively say if we're truly on an upward trend. Remember, real estate moves slowly. Keep coming back to my channel each month, and we're gonna track these numbers together to see where things are headed. All right, and that's a perfect segue into arguably the most important data point to look at, and that is the home inventory levels. All right, so looking at single family houses in King County for February of 2023, there were 1,504 homes for sale on the MLS, and that's up from 659 homes for sale the same time last year. So it looks like supply has actually gone down from 1,675 in January last month or 2 months ago, down to 1,504. So it's a really good sign as we head into spring. We want to see this trend line headed downward. That means the less inventory, which is going to positively affect housing prices. All right, now let's take a look at condos in King County for February of 2023. There were 584 condos for sale on the MLS, and that's up from 335 condos for the same time last year in 2022. Again, it's important to note that this inventory is headed downward from January, which is great to see, and this trend line is also heading downward, which as you can see in 2022, it was headed in the opposite direction. So things are headed in the right direction for the stat of inventory levels here for condos in 2023. So, are things finally starting to look up for the real estate market? Well, all the stats in February were trending in the right direction from a real estate value standpoint, which is what ultimately most people care about. But each figure means different things to different people, right? So I think that's a key thing to think about here. Are you a buyer, or are you looking to sell? Or maybe you just own a house with that really low interest rate and looking to stay put. These numbers are gonna affect each of these categories differently. So if you are looking for advice based on where you are in your real estate journey today, give me a call, shoot me a text, or leave me a comment below, and I'm gonna do my best to answer any questions that you have. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. If you're looking to move to the greater Seattle area or already live here and would like to discuss what this data means for you, again, I'm gonna leave my contact information right here, so feel free to reach out to me anytime. You can also click on the links below in the description to schedule a free call with me, or to download my free PDF, Guiding People in Seattle from One Home to the Next using the Move Up method. It's a great resource for both buyers and sellers looking to move up to their next home, so be sure to check that out below. If you have another minute, check out this video next. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.